Skye Squad, we are back in the building, and we got to talk about this interview that Candiace Dillard-Bassett did with Bossip. Now, the funny thing about this is this interview was conducted before the big brouhaha with Robin and Juan came to fruition. So we got to talk about some things that Candiace said that are very interesting about this situation being inauthentic. Okay, so let's get into the tea. So Candiace says this season was the antithesis to authenticity, okay? She says it's very scripted and fabricated and fake and full of just, I'm bored and I have nothing else to do and I'm going to get fired if I don't give you guys a story. So here's something I just pulled out of my butt. That's what it gave. And I responded in kind. She says, I don't receive fake stuff. So when it was thrown at me, my response was to vacate the premises because I didn't sign up to be fake. I have a scripted show on All Black TV. It's called Hush. That's where you do scripted stuff. This space is for us to show our real lives to people who really want to be invested in us as people, not actors. Now, it's funny to note that Candiace was saying this even before all of the Robin and Juan stuff came out. Because as you guys know, the Robin and Juan stuff has left a lot of people feeling like, what is really going on? What is it that we are actually watching on our screens? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? And one of the things that, Candiace had said, and I don't know if you guys remember this, she said this: our boss's favorite clapback when we're playing coy about certain aspects of our lives is, you're on a reality show about your life. There is an expectation that doing no harm, we show up to this platform as our authentic selves. And while we reserve the right to be judicious about what we share, there is a special brand of audacity attached to the individuals who knowingly bury the lead in exchange for damning and salacious lies that stand to cause irreparable harm to innocent people. Now, of course, when Candiace was speaking about the things that she felt like were inauthentic, she was talking about the storyline with Chris and Gizelle. She continued on by saying this in the interview. She says, this is someone who has spent her entire career on this show embellishing and adding hot sauce and salt and garlic powder to stories. She's been rewarded for that and put on a pedestal for that. I think she's just run unchecked for so long that now she's in a position where she's really run out of stuff. Like I said earlier, her bag of tricks is getting light. It's not a whole lot in there anymore. Now, you guys remember, this isn't the first time that Gizelle has been accused of this. It started for us in terms of being on the receiving end of hearing about it in season 5 with Monique. Then it continued in season 6 with Wendy. And now in season 7, it appears that Candiace is the latest. So she goes on to state in the interview, she says, now we've got to pull from a place that's disingenuous and dangerous. I maintain that when you play around with intimate misconduct and intimate assault, both of which she accused my husband of, you are entering into a very dangerous place that does discredit men and women who have credible, valid claims against people who have done things to them that are inappropriate. If she had come to me or to us with something that she really felt had some weight or that she really felt had a negative effect on her, we would have received that. If you guys may recall, Candiace did say something to this effect during the season to Gizelle when they did finally have a face-to-face discussion after Wendy's burn it session at the winery. I don't know if you guys recall that, but she did say that to Gizelle on camera, or at least she said it or inferred it in her confessional. And I think she might have said it in the moment. But she goes on to state in the interview, she says, if you had called me and just said, I just wanted to let you know that this happened and I really didn't like the situation, I would have passed the phone to Chris and we would have handled it. She then goes on to state, my issue has always been, don't tap dance on my intelligence or that of the viewers and make it seem like you didn't purposely wait to bring this up on camera. That's what you did because it's what you always done. This is your MO. You create drama where there is none. This season, you got carried away and you didn't use your judgment. And now your credibility is in the trash. And that is what you will have to live with. Wow. I mean, listen, Candiace is holding nothing back. And again, like I stated, this was all done before the Robin and Juan stuff, but after the reunion had filmed. So we're going to get into some tea about the reunion as well. So she goes on to state, if Gizelle called me and owned everything she did, everything that she had said was wrong, that was wrong and filled with demagoguery and lies, I would consider not killing her off in my mind. She says, yes, but she's not going to do that. I don't want to give anything away, but there's a lot that happened at the reunion that just says to me, it is unfortunate because it is a mighty fall from grace and there is no coming back from the things that she has set up for herself. Now, this was in response to her being asked if she would ever forgive Gizelle. And she goes on to talk about the good times with Gizelle. She says, I really respected Gizelle. She's always been messy. She's always been questionable, but I respected her position as someone who would push us forward and kept the dust up. See, and just as a side note, this I think is what I have a problem with, because in life, I feel like you've got to really watch people in general. And you've got to watch what they do with other people, because it really is a reference for what they can and usually do end up doing to you. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, it's just something I feel like we learn in life as we go. Like, how did that person treat a server? You know, do they tip well, or are they rude to the servers? You know, that's something I look at with people, because I'm kind of like, or how do they treat their mom? You know what I'm saying? Because how they treat their mom could be how they treat you in a relationship. I don't know. These are just things that I've always looked at. Chime down in the chat if you tend to view life and people in that way as well, because that's how I do. So she then goes on to say, then just privately, she's been in our home. She's been around my bonus kids. She's been around my family. I've been around her kids and her family. Grace drove my car and was scratching my rims when she was learning how to drive. I love her daughters. I love Gizelle as a woman. And I felt like beyond her creating her passion for creating drama on the show, there was a human in there and she was fun to be around. But she chose a check over friendship. Because what else is there to talk about? Her daughters are leaving. She can't use them as storylines anymore. She doesn't have a partner to build a life with. We don't care about our house. What is there to talk about? Candiace is going in. She says it's a lot of pressure when you've been on the show from the beginning to consistently give of yourself. I think that she got away with a story. She got carried away with a story that she didn't calculate in her mind was going to go this way. I think she clearly thought it was going to turn out differently than it did. It's unfortunate for her and no one else. Now, you guys may recall that, you know, Candiace was on Watch What Happens Live a few weeks ago, and she was asked, you know, about who had, you know, who was in the hot seat at the reunion. And she said Mia. And then Andy was like, well, Gizelle too. And Candiace kind of gave a look like, yeah, right. So she was asked about that in the interview. And she says, I would love to see the final edit. That's what I'll say. Because often things will look one way and then it'll be cut down so much for time that it's like, wait, what about that? That wasn't in there. We missed that part. So yeah, I would love to see how it's edited, because, you know, you have white Karens and then you have black Karens that want to call up to the people and complain and create issues and drama. Sometimes it works and they are protected. Now, this goes a long way to a long-running theory by a lot of fans that Gizelle is protected by the network. And there have been many stories that have just kind of just thoughts and theories that she's protected, which is why she's allowed to continue to do these types of things to people season after season after season after season, and it goes unchecked. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Gizelle makes compelling television. Gizelle is a beautiful woman. Gizelle, I think, has a lot more to offer the series than just a lot of the tomfoolery with the rumors and the adding hot sauce. And I think that, you know, the production company and the network should begin to really pull more from her. And I believe that if they did so, she could really, truly live up to the title of being a really amazing housewife. But I do think she's going to have to pull more from herself and less from the drama of others if she wants to get to that space. But who knows? Listen, she may just be cashing a check and be happy and keeping it moving. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below, and I will catch you in the next video.